So if you've seen my Spy review, you will know I've just recently been out of the country, and on the flight back I got a chance to watch Tomorrowland, which is directed by Britt and stars George Clooney, Britt, Robertson, Hugh, Laurie and a couple of others. And it basically follows Britt Robertson and George Clooney's characters Frank and Casey as they try and get to Tomorrowland, which is a world, a different dimension, something to save the world. A little bit hazy on the story, if I'm honest. It was a bit strange. Watching all the trailers and how mysterious the reveals and everything were before the release, I was quite excited. It had George Clooney in it. Hugh Laurie had obviously signed on as well, and it was this Disney Sci-Fi kind of thing. Now, Disney doesn't have a great track record with sci-fi. If you look at John Carter as an example, which isn't a terrible film, but didn't do very well because it was a bit strange. I see a big problem in Tomorrowland that they had with John Carter, which is it's just filled with so much exposition. And there was one scene where the flight attendants came by and were faffing about with drinks and everything like that. So I took my headphones out for probably say 2 minutes whilst I was getting a drink and missed that scene. When I went back to the scene, I didn't have a clue what was going on. I was so confused, and it wasn't even it didn't look like a pivotal scene, but they were talking about the plot and explaining what was going on, and because I missed that scene, it took me a while to actually catch up with what was happening. So I was a bit annoyed at the fact that missing one scene, there's so much exposition in this film that one scene can just throw you. And that was the same with John Carter. I felt it was just they were just talking a lot about what was going on and explaining these concepts and all of that, and you didn't get a massive chance to see things. The titular Tomorrowland didn't actually appear all that much in the film, but what's strange is it was the scenes that didn't involve Tomorrowland which I found the best. Once they actually get to Tomorrowland, it just gets really overcomplicated. At the base, it's a really simple story. When you actually come away from it and look at it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that. But they just made it so convoluted. It was just so wordy. The way it's shot is quite good. I think Britt did a good job. Ish. It's very cheesy. It's really cheesy, and it makes it feel a little bit dated for that sense. I mean, there are quite a few scenes where you get the classic "we need to save the world," and I just don't like that. Like, yeah, that was fine in the 80s. In the 90s. Not now. Like, find something better. We don't need that dramatic zoom to know that it's dramatic. And even though the acting was good, I just didn't feel like George Clooney was all that into it. I don't know why, it might just be me, but I just didn't feel like he was into it. I mean, Britt Robertson was really good. She was spot on, and I think she was the standout for me. I don't know what else she's actually been in, but she was really, really good in it, and stuff. But I just felt like it took itself a little bit too seriously, and George Clooney just didn't seem all that on board. It was all a bit strange, really. I feel like it could have been so much better. The concept is quite good. and it did have a lot of potential, and it just fell a bit flat really, and it was quite long, but that's probably just to fit in all of the exposition. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm still a bit confused by it all, really. As I said, Brad Bird did do a good job directing, other than the cheesy scenes and shots, but the action scenes were shot really well. There was a sprinkling of comedy in there, but yeah, it was a bit all over the place, too convoluted, too much exposition in there, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of good things. I'm trying. It wasn't all that bad, it really wasn't, but I'm gonna have to give Tomorrowland a 4 out of 10. I feel really bad. I like Disney, and I liked Britt Robertson in it. It was just, I don't think it was for me really, or many people. It's quite a big flop really. Let me know what you thought of Tomorrowland if you have seen it. I know that it has divided some people, so I'd really love to know your thoughts on that. I do have a lot of TV reviews, videos, things coming up, with it being the full premiere season, so keep an eye out for those. As always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, subscribe for more, and I will see you soon.